Welcome to The Explainer. It's pretty incredible what modern surgery can do. Today, we're diving into something really specific, a set of procedures that focus on the very corners of the eyes. This is where surgical precision meets artistry, and it's absolutely fascinating. So, what are we actually talking about here? To get what these surgeries do, you first have to understand a tiny but super important piece of your eye's anatomy. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around a structure called the canthus. It's just the technical term for the corner of your eye where the upper and lower eyelids come together. You've got one on the inside near your nose, that's the medial canthus, and one on the outside, the lateral canthus. The best way to think of them, they're like the anchor points for your eyelids. They really dictate the overall shape, width, and even the tilts of your eyes. All right, so if you want to adjust those anchor points, a surgeon has basically four main tools in their toolkit. Each one does something very different, so let's break them down. Okay, check this out. First up is Epicanthoplasty. This one is all about that inner corner, specifically for reducing what's known as an epicanthal fold. Then you have lateral canthoplasty, which, as the name suggests, works on the outer corner. This is often about tightening things up, giving the eye more support. Medial canthoplasty also works on that inner corner, but it's more about reshaping the angle itself. And finally, there's cantholysis. Think of this one as a release valve. It's a very specialized procedure to surgically release a tendon and relieve tension, usually in more complex reconstructive cases. So now that we know what these procedures are, the big question is, why? What are the specific goals people are trying to achieve with these kinds of surgeries? Well, the reasons are actually pretty diverse. On one hand, you have the aesthetic goals, right? Someone might want to create a wider, more open look, or achieve that classic almond-shaped eye. But on the other hand, there are some very real functional reasons. These procedures can fix a sagging lower lid that gives you that always tired appearance. They can even correct medical conditions like ectropion, which is where the eyelid actually turns outward. So it's a real mix of cosmetic and reconstructive work. Okay, but let's be real. Like any surgery, this isn't a decision you make lightly. There's always a trade-off, and you absolutely have to weigh the potential upside against the very real risks. Let's take epicanthoplasty. The big win? A more open, defined inner corner of the eye. The potential downside, and it's a big one, is scarring. That incision is in a super delicate, super visible spot, so the chance of a noticeable scar is something that every patient really has to think about. And it's a similar story for the outer corner. A lateral canthoplasty can do wonders for a sagging lower lid and really help create that beautiful almond shape. On the flip side, you've got risks. Some are temporary, like swelling or dry eyes, but there's also the risk of over-tightening the corner, which, could end up looking unnatural. The surgery itself is really only half the battle. What happens afterward, the recovery, is just as critical for getting that perfect result. So let's talk about what to expect. Right after the procedure, your life is all about careful post-op care. The big things are keeping your head propped up, especially when you sleep, to help with the swelling. You'll also be gently cleaning the incisions and applying an ointment to help everything heal nicely. And, this is a big one, no heavy lifting or major strain for a couple of weeks to make sure those tiny stitches are protected. So when can you get back to normal? Well, it's a gradual process. Most people with a desk job can head back to work in about a week, right around the time the sutures come out. But you'll have to wait a little longer, probably 3 to 4 weeks, before you're cleared for more intense physical activity. You really have to give your body time to do its thing. Now, while recovery is usually pretty straightforward, this is super important. You have to know the warning signs. If you experience anything like severe pain that's getting worse, any sudden changes in your vision, or signs of an infection, don't wait. It is absolutely crucial that you call your surgeon right away. So, after all that, what's the long-term outlook? The great news is that the results are generally long-lasting and patients are really happy with them. But notice the key phrase in that quote, when performed by an experienced surgeon. That's not a small detail. It's probably the most important factor for a successful outcome. And that really brings us to the main takeaway here. Yes, these are incredibly powerful procedures, but the goal isn't to create some kind of one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter eye shape. It's all about refinement, enhancing a person's natural beauty and creating symmetry, all while preserving the unique characteristics that make them who they are. Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it? As these surgical techniques get more and more precise, we're constantly navigating this fine line between aesthetic ideals and personal identity. It's a really fascinating conversation happening at the intersection of science and self. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.